What's going on, YouTube Gardener? It's your boy Sydney
Tori.
from the Naked Gardener channel. In this video, we're going to head out to the Cattywampus Acres and visit Jason and Lauren, and they're going to try to convince us why we should get Nigerian goats.
They're cute. They're cute. That's why we want them.
So let's get rolling. So what's going on, YouTube gardeners? It's your boy Sydney from the Naked Gardener channel. We got Jason out here. We're at Jason's Cattywampus Acres, and they've been showing us about their goats and kind of giving us a little lessons and stuff. And so we basically asked them 5 reasons why we should get Nigerian goats. And your first one was
basically the ratio of how much they consume to how much they give us in milk is what that goes. Is how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
So they, with a dairy goat or any dairy animal, they're going to have to eat and drink water in order to produce milk. And now a dairy goat will, a Nigerian dwarf will produce less milk than a typical dairy goat will. That's full size because they are a dwarf goat. But chicken in. But what they eat as far as hay and grain is significantly less than a full-size goat. And so they actually, the value there is what I like to call it, because most people thinking like if you're getting a 32-ounce drink and it's 89 cents, that's the best value is what you always see in business and those kind of things. And for them, they don't really eat a lot. And like our hay feeder over here, it's like we've had those bales in there for probably a week now, and the 3 of them, that's all they've eaten out of it.
So how much would you say, you got 3 Nigerian goats in here, right?
Yeah.
How much do you spend a month, would you say, or does it go, how often would you spend, and then how often would you refill the hay?
So if it's just the Nigerian, like this is just the Nigerian dwarf does in here, and so these are all 3 of these girls are currently in milk. Now they are coming to the end of their milking, but those 2 bales have been in there about a week, and they have only consumed looks like about a third of those 2 bales. But in that time, they've given us probably, even though they're at the end of their milking cycle, they've probably given us close to a gallon of milk. Okay, now that doesn't sound like a lot for somebody who dairy farms or something, but they have, and I'm sure we'll cover, they have a lot higher butter fat. And so they're putting out a higher quality milk than almost any dairy animal that people raise normally.
So speaking of the high butter fat, what do you mean by butter fat for the people that don't have goats and want to know what the butter fat ratio is?
Okay.
Yeah, pee on her.
So the butter fat is, every milk has a butter fat percentage. Dairy cows typically have somewhere around about 3 to 4% is very common. And where the Nigerian dwarf goats, they actually have between 6 to 10% is what's common for them. Like I think reindeer, I've done a lot of research on it. Reindeer actually do like 18%. So as far as dairy producing animals go, reindeer are the highest, but I don't know too many people that raise reindeer, and they're a very hard thing to raise. So it's not something that's being mass produced or whatever. So the butter fat is going to provide you with a thicker, creamier, like sweeter overall, like better milk. And so with us making soap and making cheese, we will get more cheese or a creamier soap out of Nigerian dwarf goat milk than we would from our La Mancha milk that we have.
Or a cow.
And that truly makes me interested in them for that reason.
Yeah, and that's what, like, they're very, and they take up such little space, and like I said, they consume so little because that when the La Manchas, when the other 3 La Manchas were in here, with those 2 bales in there, and the 3 big ones and then the 3 little ones, they would be going through 2 bales in like 2 or 3 days.
Oh wow.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and so that's where the issue comes in. And depending on, everybody's got different hay prices. Some people have their own hay.
What's the going price for in this area?
Well, we have our best deal we currently can find $7.50 for a square bale.
Okay.
But it's and they do need a good quality hay because that's their main diet. And so that
and does that affect how sweet?
Yes, and that's one thing. Like, if you watch our videos, I harp on it so much, and I hope I don't make like other dairy farmers upset when I talk
Make
about
them upset.
But I like the alfalfa is one thing that gets fed to a lot of dairy animals, and I think that has sort of ruined people's perception of what goat's milk actually tastes like.
It affects how sweet it is.
It like makes it like, it gives
Goaty.
it a goaty taste. Like when people say, "Ooh, this just tastes goaty," in my opinion,
It's alfalfa.
that it's alfalfa because it's a legume hay. Opposed, and you guys being gardeners, you know,
Yeah, no, we get it.
we use coastal Bermuda, which is a grass hay, and then the legume hays, like your peanut hays and your and like soys and stuff like that, like they all those other hays, they're way double, triple, quadruple the amount of protein, but it will change the flavor. Like if we let them eat kudzu, like we have kudzu all over the place in Georgia, you wouldn't want to drink that milk.
Does that hay, the legume hay's price vary? Like,
Oh yeah.
Are they more
like
expensive?
If we're paying $7.50 for this, a same size bale of legume hay like an alfalfa is going to be $13 to $15.
So it's not even worth it.
So the next one, you said they're full of personality. Was one of the main reasons why y'all got these goats?
Yeah, and so they, as you can tell, I don't know if anybody watching has seen in the background and roaming around us here, they do have a great personality and they are fun to have around, and that's why a lot of people just have them as pets. And that's, I think, like the wethers that we have, the 2 wethers that we have. A weathered goat, which is a castrated male, that is your best pet animal because they don't go through heat cycles as a doe would, and then they're not smelly like a buck is. And so they are very playful. They like to roam around. And then if you've ever seen like a video of a goat, like the little baby goats that are like flipping and jumping, 90% of the time it's going to be a Nigerian Dwarf baby because there's like a time frame between their 3-week and their 5-week-old that they cannot stand still. It's like their body won't allow them to, and you could sit out here for hours and just laugh because they're bouncing, kicking, they're kicking off of each other, they're jumping off their mom. You ever see a doe's tail wagging? That's not like a dog where they're happy. They're actually sending their scent over to him, and as you can tell, it's driving him absolutely crazy. He can smell them when he's down there. You will see him acting crazy when they're flagging down here.
So she's just over here teasing him, huh?
Exactly. She knows, and she's only been bred by him, and she's freshened, which is the freshening with the dairy animals every time they give birth and go back into milk, and so she's freshened from
That's
him
hilarious.
I think 4 or 5 times.
Look at that. She's like, hey, boy.
Yeah, I was going to say, so in here is our current milking area for now. This is the milk stand that we are currently using. We've used it for a while now, and it works okay. Typically now with these 3, we don't even lock them in. But I have to build one that's more set up for all the breeds. But yeah, you have to. We put some grain in there, and then they stand up there. And if they're being ornery, or if you're just training them to be on
Kind of like a cow. It's a miniature cow stand.
It's exactly what it is. It's a milk stanchion. They're one and the same. They're all the same. It's just the size is the only thing that changes. And then the only thing we really keep in here is we keep stuff to keep it clean, and then iodine. We do an iodine teat dip.
A lot of rats, huh?
Oh heck yeah, man! Those stupid things.
How often do you have to do an iodine teat?
Every time you milk them, right?
Yeah. After and this is like You go to 10 different goat farms, and each one of them is going to have something different or tell
Or
you
different
that
answer.
this way is wrong, this way is right. We have found, and from the University of Georgia, who they have a big animal, like what they call it. It's like a learning hospital. They have like a specific section of the college that is only for, it's a hospital, but it's also just for learning, and so you pay like half the price.
Yeah.
It's like when you go to a beauty college.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's the same setup, but for animals. And they, when our first doe, when she got mastitis, we took them over there, and that's one of the things they talked about. Is a lot of the colleges did studies where dipping the teat in iodine, like a 1% iodine solution, stopped a lot of bacteria and stuff, because once you've milked them, you've broken the seal on the orifice.
Yeah.
And so when they go and lay down, if there's E. coli, and that's the thing, stuff's all around us, and so if there's E. coli or any kind of bacteria, it's going to get up into there. And so that's what the iodine does. The iodine sort of coats it with the antibacterial coating, so nothing can get up in there. So every time we are done milking them, we dip both sides with the iodine, and that's it. Now,
All right, so the last reason why you like these is because they're both heat tolerant and cold tolerant. Can you kind of elaborate on that?
yeah, the Nigerian Dwarf breed is, as their name implies, originally from Nigeria, and it is. I'm pretty sure I've never been there, but I'm pretty sure Nigeria is hotter than Georgia. I don't know, I'm just assuming. But so the heat thing has never been an issue with them here. Like our hottest days in Georgia, and y'all know being from Texas and stuff. Like you can get some cranking hot days, man, and it doesn't faze them. They don't really pant. I don't think I've really ever seen them like pant or anything like that. And as far as cold goes, we've never had any issues. We lost one young one once because she really wasn't fazed by getting rained on, and she stayed out in the rain too long, and they like to cuddle with each other. You'll see, even if they don't like each other, they will all lay next to each other in cold times. And she was all by herself. I don't know what it was, they sort of pushed her off, and she was a super sweet goat, but because I think she got like pneumonia kind of thing, and that's what we lost her to.
All right, so I appreciate Jason you showing us the 5 reasons why we should get a Nigerian goat. You want to kind of tell our fans and subscribers and viewers what your channel is all about?
Sure. So, like you said in the beginning, we're Cattywampus Acres. We're located just northeast of Atlanta, and we raise goats, dairy goats. We raise layer chickens. We have meat pigs. We have all that stuff, and we have all the kinds of videos that we put out about that. We do 2 videos a week, and our goal is just couple of working stiffs, I guess, just working towards self-sufficiency. And so, yeah, our channel, like I said, Cattywampus Acres, is me, my wife Lauren, and our 3 kids, Keaton, Hadley, and Ellery. And we'd love to have you guys come over and check us out, because we really just have fun doing this and raising these animals. So,
and y'all sell soap as well.
We do sell soap.
We'll put their Etsy
we sell soap on
websites all
Etsy
down below, so that y'all can go over there and check out their soaps and purchase them. Go to their channel, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and follow them and tell them that we sent y'all. Until the next video, let's grow together.